allotment neighbour Brian has got a tractor, and he's brought that out today to start ploughing where he wants to plant this year. He's had two rows of leeks that I've been eyeing, because my leeks, number one, had rust last year, and secondly, the few that I did have or could save, I've run out of. So I've been looking at those leeks thinking, oh, they look good, and how did he manage to avoid the rust? And I was just watching him with his tractor, and he was ploughing them over, and I was like, what are you doing? So I walked over there and I said, what exactly are you doing? And he said, well, nobody seems to want these leeks. He plants everything by the hundreds and then gives it all away, or gives it to the pub, or, you know, basically it's a free-for-all. So I have just gone and collected the leeks that have not been completely ploughed under by a tractor. So I'll show you quickly. So there's some decent sized leeks there, so a couple of them are broken off, so yeah, well, I'll chop those up and put them in the freezer. So I'll go back in the greenhouse where it's quieter. Okay, so big seed sowing day today, as I am way behind on a lot of my seeds. It's the middle of April. I think it might be the 14th today, might even be the 15th. I lose track of days. So and it was supposed to be raining today, but the rain hasn't materialized yet. So I planned for a seed sowing day today, and as you can see, I have still got a whole bunch of things that I was planning on sowing in March that never happened, including those ones. This is all of April that still needs sowing. There's a lot in there. And then we'll get on to the later months. So I want to try and make a dent in this section today. So I'm going to start with some zinnias. I've got both the pale zinnia mix and the giant dahlia mix from Sarah Raven. I've got some cornflowers, and I've got some ginger nut sunflowers. So I'll start with those, and then I'll keep working my way through the box. Okay, so I'm going to start with the giant dahlia mix, zinnias, and these are still seeds that are left over from last year. So if you want to have a look there, all sorts of different shapes and sizes on the seeds there. So I am going to do, I've got a 24 cell seed tray here, and I'm going to do 2 per cell, just for both germination and just to save me some space, because I've still got a bit of a lack of space in here in terms of shelving space in the greenhouse. So so I'm going to do 2 per cell. The other one I've got is the pale zinnia mix, which is a new packet I bought this year, because I noticed last year there were lots of oranges and yellows and reds in the mix, but not a lot of pale colours, so I thought that would make a good addition this year, and I will do the same, not really from a germination point of view, more from a space saving point of view. I planted my zinnias way too close to my cosmos last year, so they were overshadowed by the cosmos, so they didn't do particularly well last year. So this year I will choose a different space for them. So there we go, 24 cells, each with 2 in. I'm just going to pat them down, make sure they're all okay, and then cover them lightly. The seeds aren't very big, so this is just John Innes #1 sort of seed sowing compost, and I've put in a little bit of perlite. Not that you need to in seed sowing compost, but I thought it was the general purpose compost by mistake, so I added it in. So I'm sure it can't do any harm. So make sure they're all covered. Pat them down a little bit, and then there we go. Lots of little stones and bits and things in this one, which you wouldn't expect from a seed sowing compost, but there you go. Okay, so give them a bit of a water. I did make the compost damp before I put it in the seed trays as well, so I've dampened all of it. Here we go. Okay, so I have got a label somewhere in my trusty label tin, but it's a case of, oh, there it is, result. So that side is the giant dahlia mix, so, and this side is the pale one, but I haven't made a label for that yet, so at least I know which side that is on, and I will make a label and put it into this side. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we've got cornflower, double blue. Handy label, if I can get it off. So double blue. So once again, this is leftover seeds from last year. So just to hedge the bets in terms of germination, I am going to sow quite a lot of these, and I'm just going to sprinkle them loosely but quite densely, because I never know, some seeds seem to be able to go to a second year and others just don't fare so well. So I will make sure I sow enough, and if I don't need all of these, I've got lots of friends with big gardens and I'm sure they'd like some. So these seeds are quite pretty actually. Oh, and I didn't show you. So, and there's even more left in this package. So that's what they look like. They look like tiny little brushes. So quite pretty. So I'll put these back carefully so they don't go in the compost. So cover them over. Give them a good water. And put the handy little label in. Okay, what I might actually do is cover this one with a propagator lid, just to give it that extra little bit of a chance to germinate. Okay, so next up we have got sunflower ginger nut. It says the heads can get up to 30 centimeters, so like a dinner plate, and they're quite pretty and frilly, so I thought they were quite nice. So once again, still some of last year's seeds, so I am going to, I think, double sow them again just in case. In the next 2 rows of cells, I am going to go for wild marjoram. So once again from Sarah Raven, and this is a new packet. Oh, these seeds feel tiny. You never know when you open them up whether half the seeds are going to come tumbling out. So I'm going to just stand clear. Oh my word, they are dinky small. Look at that. I think that must be the smallest seeds I've ever seen. So what is the best way to sow these then? Probably not in these cells. So I'm going to change my mind. It's not going to go in these cells. I will use a different container for them. I'm going to put them back in the packet. We'll come back to them in a minute. So they're going to go there. I've also got these ones, Amnis, white ones. It says here a slightly chunkier form of Amni with dense yet delicate white and green domed flowers and fantastic seed pods. So that makes them sound very, very good, doesn't it? So, oh, really pretty little seeds. I don't know if you can see how stripy they are. So I'm going to do just a few, about 5 per cell. So I've got some Nigellas here. Nigella double white, in brackets, love in a mist. So best of all is when you go through the catalogues and you choose all of these flowers, I can now not even remember what they look like. So it's a case of it'll be a surprise. What I should really do is put a little mood board together, all the pictures, and that'll remind me. Actually, that's a very good idea. I think I might just do that because that will determine how they're going to get planted this year. Pitch black little seeds, little patterns on them, fairly pretty actually. So I'll do the same with them. Just do a few in each cell. And then I'll put this in my little pile because I'll have to make some labels in a minute with my trusty label maker to put them all in, so I can remember it's the sunflowers, then the Amnis, and then the Nigellas. So quickly cover them over. All done. Good bit of water. I will pop a label in, and then that'll be it from me for today. So as I'm watering these, hope you all have a lovely day and that your seed sowing is further along than mine, and I will see you again in the next episode. Bye for now.